Namaste and Lakach Jayom Guru. Good afternoon. Happy Sabbath Sunday to all of my brothers and sisters everywhere, all around the world. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for coming together with me today for our Sunday services, right? Something new that we're doing. Getting together on Sundays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for, to take a look at, a little bit of wisdom from our guru, a little bit of wisdom from our Mayan astrology teachings, and how does that affect our lives, right? That's what this Sunday service is about, having a better life. So, I want us to begin with our guru's voice. I'm going to play a recording. And then after that, then we'll do first things first, as we've talked about before, where we get more connected to our source, realizing our connection to source a little deeper by chanting Om 3 times. And then we'll take a look at this energies that are all around us for the day, and then we'll read something from the Dream Spell Astrology Wisdom for today's energies, and then we'll read something from our Guru's teachings that can help guide us to have a better, happier, harmonious life. That's what our goal is here at our Awakening Consciousness family. So, let's begin with our Guru's voice. A wonderful prayer from our Guru. It's entitled God, Christ, Guru. Let us take a listen.
From the depths of slumber, when you ascend this spiral stairways of wakefulness, be sure to whisper, God, Christ, Gurus. God is the food, and when you break your fast of nightly separation from Him, taste Him and mentally say, God, Christ, Gurus. No matter where you go, let this spotlight of your mind ever keep turning on God. And in the battle din of activity, let your silent war cry be, God, Christ, Gurus. When boisterous storms of trial shriek, and when worries howl at you, drown their noises by loudly chanting, God, Christ, Gurus. When your mind weaves dreams with threads of memories, then on that magic cloth always emboss God, Christ, Gurus. Every night, in time of deepest sleep, when your peace dreams and calls, joy, 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 and your joy comes singing evermore. Always inwardly chant, God, Christ, Gurus. In waking, eating, working, dreaming, sleeping, serving, meditating, chanting, divinely loving, let your soul constantly hum, unheard by any, God, Christ, Gurus.
On the throne of my conscience lies 3 desires. God, Christ, Gurus.
I, Paramahansa Yoga.
Amen. Oh, I always love to hear Yogananda's voice. He's our guide. He's our guru. He's the one we're all following here. Make no mistake. So, next, let us, as I described last Sunday, what our routine is going to be like is now we're going to use Guru's technique a little bit, one of Guru's prayers, on getting God, well, actually not getting God, but to getting our realization of God in our body, in our mind, and in our soul. We want to bring that realization more to the fore right now, more to the front right now. And so we're going to do 3 ohms, right? And we talked about Om, right, being from Ah, O, U, right? We're moving that energy up from that Manipura, right? Up from the fire, into the heart, into the throat, into the third eye, right? Our all-knowingness. Okay? We'll do it 3 times, right? Once for the body, once for the mind, once for the soul. Because we want to really get established with our source, body, mind, and soul. Right? And then after that, then the next thing is to figure out what are these energies that were around us today, according to our dream spell astrology wisdom. Right? Very important thing to know if we want our lives to be in harmony, right? Those are the first things we want to do. And after that, then we'll do some reading, we'll do some studying, we'll get some guidance, right, from our Guru. So, let us begin by, as we know, we want to get into a comfortable meditative posture, right? That means an erect spine. We can be seated in a chair, on the floor, on a cushion, but we want to be having an erect spine. And we want to close our eyes and relax and bring our attention at the point between our eyebrows. Maybe even put our gaze there with our closed eyes, gently gazing here at this point between our eyebrows. It's called the Christ Consciousness Center, the Katastha Titania, right? That's our center of all-knowingness, the third eye, the all-seeing eye, right? So we want to relax with our attention there. And then we bring our hands into Namaste, prayer pose, bringing all of the 5 elements together in front of our heart chakra. Our fingers represent those 5 elements that everything is made out of. So we're connecting now our heart chakra, which is our center of love and compassion. We're connecting this now with our third eye chakra, our center of all-knowingness. Just relax. We have to breathe. So we're going to start with breathing in through the nose for a cleansing breath before we start doing our prayer and our Om technique. So let's start with the cleansing breath. We breathe in through the nose, filling our lungs all the way up. And when our lungs are full, then we exhale. We release all the breath out through the mouth. Let all the thoughts and worries and tensions leave with the breath. And when the breath and the thoughts and the worries are all gone, then we breathe back in through the nose, but this time very slowly, very consciously, very steadily, feeling that cool, sparkling life force energy coming in through our nostrils, filling our body with life in preparation for our opening prayer to our Sunday services. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your healing presence in our bodies. For the good of all, only to glorify you, so might it be. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your healing presence in our bodies and in our minds. For the good of all, only to glorify you, God. So might it be. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all of your children. Manifest your healing presence in our bodies, in our minds, and in our souls, only to glorify you, God. All the glory to you, so might it be. Om Bhurrbhuva Swaha Tat Saviturvadneyam Bhargo Deva Satyamahe Diyotyona Prachodayat Oh boy, that always makes my heart feel so wonderful. For anyone that's wondering, this last thing that I did was the Gayatri Mantra. Remember, we don't do anything here without knowing what we're doing. And it's not just a random mantra that we just happen to pick out because it's pretty or powerful or anything. They are beautiful and powerful, but this particular mantra is kind of geared towards us householder yogis, right? Those who have a household, but they're still spiritual, you know. And they keep a strong spiritual energy going on in their life, and they want their life to be balanced in spirituality and in materiality, right? And so this Gayatri Mantra, those particular sound syllables, they're really going to help us be able to be in that energy frequency, because those sound syllable vibrations are creating that energy. Welcome, Arjun. Welcome, John. Welcome, Eileen. So glad to see that you guys are here with me on this beautiful Sabbath Sunday. Special day, right? A day that, well, some of us may have chosen to really just forget the world for today and put 99 or maybe even 100% of their focus just on God today, right? One day for God. Doesn't God deserve one day? The giver of everything, right? How about we give God one day? If we can't do that, can we start with 1 hour? Doesn't the giver of everything deserve an hour of our undivided attention? Not our, not on the cell phone saying, yeah, okay, yeah. Wait, hold on, let me send this message. No, not that kind. I'm talking undivided attention. It's the giver of everything that you and everyone has in this world. Let's not forget the giver when we're enjoying all of these gifts. So, well, now that we've gotten a little more established in our source, now's the next thing would be, because first things first, right? Let's seek God first, right? And then, after that, Then we want to know, what are the energies around it? What do we want to get in tune with? This vibrational energy frequency, because everything is energy. Everything's about vibration. And if we're out of tune with that vibration, then our life is going to be out of tune. So that's what this dream spell astrology wisdom stuff is all about. So let's take a quick look at that. Right? And how do we do that? We look at these solar frequencies and these galactic tones, right? And what they mean when they come together. And today we're looking at this 8th galactic tone, and we look and we see that it's about harmonic resonance. Oh, it's probably backwards for everybody. Well, that's Facebook for you. But anyway, it says harmonic resonance, in case you're wondering. And what this means is, well, these galactic tones are leading us day by day in a very special pattern of energies. So yesterday's energies leads to today's energies to tomorrow's, right? And in yesterday's energies, we were in the center. We were in the sweet spot, right? We got to that balanced position of the center, right? And until then, you're not in harmonic resonance. But when you get into that center, then you're in harmonic resonance. So naturally, the next tone following yesterday's tone would be about being in harmonic resonance today. And that's that 8th galactic tone. 1 bar is 5, 3 dots is 3, 3 and 5 is 8. Just means that this is the 8th galactic tone, and it's about being in harmonic resonance, right? And it's a step-by-step process. We couldn't have gotten into harmonic resonance if we didn't get into that balanced center position yesterday. If we weren't in balance yesterday, in harmonic resonance today, then how can we move on tomorrow to greater cycles? Right? Tomorrow's energy is going to be, okay, now that you've gotten balanced, harmonized, now you can go on to those greater things. You see? It's an energetic information that we can tune in with each day. Hi, Dave. Hi, Sue. Welcome. So, that's the tone. This tone is going to talk about what is the solar frequency about. Look at the solar frequency. It looks like a mirror, doesn't it? Does it look like a mirror? Well, that's because it is a mirror energy today. And it isn't this side of the picture mirroring this side of the picture. Doesn't the top of the picture mirror the bottom of the picture? It's a mirror, right? And this energy that's about, has this idea of coming into harmonic resonance, right? Harmonizing. What is harmonic resonance? It means when we're vibrating in harmony with everything, right? And it's coming together with this mirror idea. What is this mirror idea about, right? Don't we look in a mirror to see if we have some dirt on our face so we can get the dirt off, right? Well, this isn't a physical mirror. This is a metaphysical mirror. And this energy reminds us today that all of the people around us are mirrors. And it shows us qualities within us that, well, maybe we don't like. Right? So maybe if we have some undesirable qualities within us, Etznab is telling us that we will draw to us mirrors, people that will mirror that quality that we don't like so much, that's within us, that we need to transform for our own growth, right? To be in harmonic resonance, right? Well, to be in harmony, we're going to have to get that dirt off our face, so to speak, right? This is a metaphysical dirt that we're removing from our consciousness, right? If there happens to be any. So, that's what this energy is about today, right? Being in harmonic resonance, right? Vibrating in harmony. And realizing that this is achieved through seeing everyone and everything as a mirror or a lesson to guide us and show us the way. Everyone is your teacher. Because everyone that comes into our life has been drawn into our life to mirror something. They didn't come into our life by accident. is what Etznab, this energy today, is trying to tell us. None of these people accidentally came into your life. Did that person come and lie to you? Well, have you ever lied to anybody? Well then, are you lying? Well then, if you lie, then mirrors come. Other people that lie. And they show you this. How much it sucks when people lie. And so you start changing your mind. Right? This is how it works. When you learn the lesson, right, those challenges and teachings stop coming, except for every once in a while, just to make sure you still remember the lesson. Challenges will never stop coming. They're always the tests, right? They'll always keep coming to test you, to make sure you're on point, to make sure you're not getting lackadaisical and slacking, right? Because we're spiritual warriors. We can't be slacking. Not here. We're on a sacred mission. We came here to do something special, not slack. So we're constantly tested, constantly challenged to make us stronger, to make us better, to teach us how to be what we actually really are, to help us remember what we are and why we came here. So, well, let's take a quick read here out of this Dream Spell Astrology Wisdom, the workbook that I made here. And we'll read today where I've combined this idea of this 8th galactic tone with this mirror energy of Etznab. And let's read what they are when we combine them. Right? What does this mean? This is going to tell us what are we trying to get in tune with today. Right? This is the workbook is designed, for us to be able to draw and color and fill in blanks and do an affirmation and everything. But then there's this reading part that is very informative, right? On what energies are you trying to be in tune with today? If we want our lives to be in harmony, well, if the energies are going left, we want to go left, right? If the energies are going right, we don't want to be going left, because then it's friction, right? Unless you want the friction. If you want the friction, then that's all you got to do. It's easy. So anyway, let's read from the workbook where it says today's galactic signature is Kin 138. And remember, Kin in the Mayan wording means day or a sun, right? One sun, one day. So it is Kin or day 138 out of the 260 days of the Tzolk'in. Right? So we're a little more than halfway through. We're in a very special time. All of these particular galactic signatures have a lot of information for us. So we call this day White Galactic Mirror. Right? This is the white mirror. Etznab. This is the galactic tone of integrity. And so it is White Galactic Mirror. And it's called Voshak Etznab. Okay, this is the Mayans' way of how they would say it. Voshak Etznab is how we would pronounce today. Not like Wednesday or Friday or anything like that, right? We're talking about the energies. Voshak, right, is this energy of harmonic resonance. And Etznab is this idea of a mirror. And all the mirrors in our lives guiding us and showing us how to be better. So, as we were saying earlier, after the resonant tone of attunement yesterday comes the galactic tone of integrity today. White galactic mirror Voshak Etznab guides and teaches us to discern truth from illusion by fearlessly facing our shadows and unconsciousness through intentionally focusing on reflecting the integrity of natural order, and then to consciously model that integrity so that it reaches others, thus helping to catalyze even greater levels of harmony. Right? This is all about being in perfect harmony. Right? Today's about greater levels of harmony, right? that 8th galactic tone. Integrity means to harmonize our thoughts, beliefs, and actions with what we know to be the highest truths. Integrity requires unshakable courage, indomitable resolve, and crystal clarity. White galactic mirror. Voshaketsnab reminds us that when we stand firm in our integrity, we are protected and provided for. White galactic mirror. Voshaketsnab encourages us to learn from the mirrors provided by other people and situations, and then to release all that does not authentically reflect our true self. Right? Just like when you look in the mirror to get that off there. That's not you, that's dirt. Right? But we want to look into the mirrors of everyone around us. Then we'll see what's inside that needs to be cleaned up, so to speak. Through the energies of white galactic mirror, Voshaketsnab, the cauldron of creation, is gently awakening us to the remembrance that beauty is eternity gazing at itself in the mirror. And you are eternity, and you are the mirror. The cauldron of creation is summoning us to collectively elevate the quality of the dream of our existence through an intentional willingness to accept and integrate truth, right? To embrace it and to integrate it, not resist it and fight it and try to battle it. By being true to ourselves, or in other words, being true to our inner fire of illumination, we can and will ignite metaphysical flames of consciousness that spread and offer warmth and guidance to all of our dearly beloved sisters and brothers. We would be wise to humble ourselves and acknowledge the divine light within each of our brothers and sisters, as well as within all of creation. Through the energies of white galactic mirror, Voshaketsnab, the cauldron of creation, is ever reminding us that we are divine vessels of life, exploring and expressing itself. It is our divine gift to be able to venture beyond our comfort points and our growth edges, so as to travel both mentally and physically to find peace in the unknown and unite the seen with the unseen. Through this discernment, we awaken to the remembrance that every one of us are messengers to each other, always moving, exploring, and expanding. Right? We're all here mirrors or messengers. Isn't that mirror giving us a message? Saying you could be better. Yes. So this is Voshaketsnab, these energies today that we're trying to get in tune with. I hope that's helpful. For those that are actually kind of going along with us kind of regularly, that probably sounds a little more familiar. But those that are probably not really with us on a daily basis and working with the calendar and stuff, that might sound a little strange. But that's okay. That's what we're here for. So, well, now that we've kind of shared in this energy that we know what we want to get in tune with now today. Next, I'd like to share with everyone, well, some teachings from Paramahansa Yogananda about what our main teaching is about. Right? Yogananda teaches Kriya Yoga. And you always hear me talking about this Kriya Yoga. The other day I just made a video, right, about what is Kriya Yoga. Well, okay, so you heard me talking about. Now I'd like you to hear from Guru himself. Guru's own words, right out of Guru made Sunday services. So I'm going to take an excerpt out of his Sunday service that he made, where he's describing to us about, what is this? What is Kriya Yoga about, right? I mean, we're not going to get the whole lesson on Kriya Yoga, right? We're going to just hear something about it, though, from the one who brought it here, right? As we talked about before, Yogananda brought this Kriya Yoga to the United States. No one else did. Others after him, perhaps, if they were followers of Lahari Mahasaya, or if they were followers of Swami Sri Yukteswar, they got the same teaching, right? But we're following this lineage. And so our Guru is Paramahansa Yogananda, so we're going to get it directly from him today about this Kriya Yoga. What is this Kriya Yoga? Okay? So, let us take a look here at what Paramahansa Yogananda says. It is entitled Kriya Yoga, the bliss-filled path to God. Right? Now we're going to get the whole lowdown on this Kriya Yoga thing. After this, then you'll know. Not all about Kriya Yoga, but if this would be something you might want to be interested in. Okay? So, Guru starts out by saying, at death, the spiritual self, which is the soul, which is you, okay, is involuntarily freed from the worn out body. Right? That's what death is, right? When the soul is freed from the worn out body. Hi, Sean. Hi, Bolen. Welcome, welcome. Important stuff. Pay close attention. So Guru goes on to say, but the self can at any time feel its separateness from the body without experiencing final death. By regular practice of the scientific methods of Kriya Yoga, Guru says. Right? St. Paul said, I die daily. Guru says what he meant was that he knew the process of controlling the heart and the other internal organs and could voluntarily free his spirit self from the body and mind and experience that ordinary untrained persons feel only at final death, when the spiritual self is freed from the worn out body. Right? Guru is saying here that this St. Paul said that he died every day instead of just this one death, the final death. Guru goes on to say that I will give only a general idea of the Kriya Yoga process and the true scientific theory on which it is based. You'd actually have to take the lessons if you actually want to get the whole thing on it. But Guru says that he is setting it down here from his own experience. It will be found to be universally true, he says. Right? In other words, when you do it, then you'll know it's true. He knows it's true from his experience, and you'll know it's true when you have the experience. Kriya Yoga, he says, is a method of revolving vital current around the spine and brain. This is very interesting what he says next. By one practice of this method, we can gain the results of 1 year's ordinary physical evolution. In 1/2 minute of this spinal practice, we can attain the results of 1 year's living on earth, so that in a solar year of daily practice of Kriya Yoga, we have the results of many years of evolution. Revolving the vital current around the spinal column and brain develops receptivity. Our bodies are made up of trillions of cells. Every cell, Guru says, is like an intelligent being. We have to educate each cell in order to know all the things that are going on in the world. Guru says by concentration through Kriya Yoga, all the fine spine and brain cells can be turned on to the cosmic source. They can become highly magnetized. When we have cleansed and magnetized the brain cells by Kriya Yoga, a divine magnetism touches them. Every cell becomes a vibrant brain. Thus, we will find within ourselves myriads of awakened brains ready to grasp all knowledge. That is how many saints quickly attain their spiritual knowledge. Wisdom far beyond that of theory-steeped theologians. Truths the great ones perceive in a second amount to years of ordinary experience. Christ did not go to college, and not one of all of the scientists of the world know of God and nature's laws as he knew. With the magnetizing of the brain cells, myriad mentalities will awaken, and all things will be apparent to you. You will study the vast book of nature and truth with trillions of spiritualized microscopic brains. So Guru asks, why be satisfied in half educating a small part of your brain only? Where are you seeking, my friends? Prayers have been asked, but God has not answered. But with the awakened brain cells vibrant with the joy of God, all knowledge can be had in this life. Eternity realized now. Bliss, which is also God. God is bliss. Bliss is God, right? Bliss, which is God, our ultimate goal, is felt in an intense degree in the practice of Kriya Yoga. The practice of Kriya is far more purely blissful than the greatest enjoyment that any of the five senses or the mind can ever afford us. Guru says, I do not wish to give anyone any other proof of this truth than is offered by their own experience. In other words, Guru's not trying to prove, we're not trying to prove anything to you. You're going to have to prove this to yourself. Hi, Kyle. Guru goes on to say that the more one practices Kriya with patience and regularity, the more one feels intensely and durably fixed in bliss, or in other words, in God. Owing to the persistence of bad habits, the consciousness of bodily existence, with all its memories, revives occasionally and fights against that tranquility. But if anyone, Guru says, if anyone will practice Kriya Yoga regularly and for extended periods, it may be guaranteed, he says, guaranteed, that in time they will find themselves in a highly supramental state of bliss. Supramental state of bliss, he says. Guru goes on to say, we should not, however, seek to imagine beforehand the possible results to which the Kriya process may lead, and then cease practicing it after a short trial. A little bit of just trying it out a little isn't going to get it. In order to make real progress, the following things are necessary, Guru says. First, loving attention to the subject to be learned. Second, desire to learn and an earnest spirit of inquiry. And third, steadfastness until the desired end is attained. In other words, don't give up. If we go on halfway and then, after a short practice, reject it, the desired results will not follow. A novice in such a spiritual practice as Kriya Yoga, who tries to prejudge the experience of experts, the masters and prophets of the ages, Guru says, is like a child who attempts to imagine what postgraduate courses would be like. It is a great pity, Guru says, that people will spend their best efforts and time in securing what is needed for worldly existence or in intellectual controversies over theories, but seldom seek to think it worth their while to realize and practically experience in life the truths which not only vivify but impart meaning to life. Misguided efforts often engage their attention longer than well-guided ones. Guru says that I have been practicing Kriya Yoga for many years, and the more I do so, the more I feel the joy of a state of permanent and unfailing bliss. And I've been practicing it for a long time too. And I can say the same thing. The more I practice, the better it gets. If I forget my practice, it's not so good. So Guru says, we should bear in mind that the spiritual self has been in bondage to the body for how many ages we know not. How many incarnations have you had bound to this idea that you have a body? We don't know. Who knows? No one knows. So Guru says it may not be freed in one day, nor with short or undirected practice of the Kriya technique that takes one to the supreme state of bliss or gives one the eternal health in their organs. Guru says that it may require patient practice for a long, long time. But however, he said this can be guaranteed that the following of the Kriya Yoga process will bring the great joy of pure bliss consciousness. It might take a while, but you're going to definitely get it. He guarantees it, he says, if you follow this way. The more we practice it, the more quickly we attain bliss. Does that make sense? Of course. The more we practice, the better we get, the faster it'll happen. Guru says, I wish that as seekers of bliss, which all of us are, would try to experience for ourselves that universal truth which is in all and may be felt by all. This state is not an invention or imagination. It is already within us. Guru says we have simply to remember and discover it. Until you have tasted this truth, do not look upon what I write with indifference. Right? Until you try it, don't say, baloney. Try it. Really try it, though. Don't try it for a couple days and say, that don't work. Right? Try it until something happens. And if nothing happens after a long time, then forget it. Don't do it. Guru says it may be that you are tired of hearing various theories that have hitherto had no direct bearing on your life. In other words, you've heard all this stuff, but it hasn't really helped you and changed your life and set you free. Well, then that's not it. The one that set you free is it. Guru says this one's going to set you free in this lifetime. Guru says what I tell you is not theory, but realized truth. He's experienced it. I've experienced it. Many have experienced it. This is realized truth that we're sharing, not some theory that you could maybe do. Guru says, I am trying to give you an idea of what can be really experienced. Right? We're not playing games here, just saying la-di-da. We're going to talk about this and never do it. No, we're going to do this. Okay? Guru says we can know God only by knowing ourselves. For our real nature is similar to God's nature. People were created in the image of God. If Kriya Yoga is learned and earnestly practiced, you will know yourself to be a blissful spirit and will realize God. Kriya Yoga works with the exact thing that binds us down to our narrow individuality, which is the life force. In the ordinary person, this life force, instead of being turned back and absorbed into the expansive self-conscious force of the soul, goes outward, keeping the body and mind always in motion and causing disturbance to the soul in the shape of bodily sensations and passing thoughts. So long as the life force moves outward, right? You're looking out, you're hearing out, you're smelling out, you're talking out. Sensations and thoughts disturb and distort the calm image of the soul. Kriya Yoga enables us to turn the life force inward. This is what we practice. Going within. Hence, its effect is direct and immediate. Like as soon as you learn how to do this, it works immediately. It takes us straight to the consciousness of self, the God bliss. It does not require the help of any intermediary. Are you glad to hear that? It does not require the help of any intermediary. It's just about you and God, you and your source. Guru goes on to say that those other spiritual methods employ the help of the intellect or thought process to control the life force in order to induce the consciousness of the soul to its blissful and other aspects. All religious methods in the world, directly or indirectly, tactfully or expressly, enjoin the control, regulation, and turning back of the life force so that we may transcend the body and mind and know the self in its native state, which is bliss. Kriya Yoga directly controls life force by itself, whereas the other methods control life force through some intermediary, like thought or prayer, good works, or worship, or the so-called conscious sleep. Guru explains that presence of life in people is existence. Absence of it is death. Hence Kriya Yoga, the method of teaching life's direct power to control itself, must be the best method for realizing our deathless soul nature. Almost done. Sages of different ages and climes have suggested methods adopted to the mental frame and physical condition of the people among whom they lived and preached. Some have laid stress on prayer, some have laid stress on feeling, some on good works, some on love, some on reason or thought, some on meditation. But their motives have all been the same. They all meant that body consciousness should be transcended and that the soul should be realized. Their purpose is their purpose is the inculcation of just that backward turning of the life force that Kriya Yoga teaches directly without the help of any intermediary, without any outside interference or help. The following spiritual stages emerge when the life force is completely controlled. In the beginning, Guru says, a most attractive sensation is felt in the course of magnetizing the spinal column. And I'd like to say that's an understatement. Okay? Attractive sensation. Yeah, you'll be addicted to it. Okay, like the worst drug in the world, only it'll be the best thing for you. Okay? It's life force. So yeah, Guru's putting it mildly. He says a most attractive sensation is felt in the course of magnetizing the spinal column. And it's way more than that. Okay? And Guru goes on to say that continued and long practice will bring about a state of conscious bliss that counteracts the exciting states of our body consciousness. It'll counteract that restlessness. This blissful state is our universal aim. It's what we're trying to do, where we're trying to go, to that blissful state, right? It is our highest necessity because in it we are really conscious of God, which is bliss. And we can feel the expansion of our real self. The more frequently this state is experienced, the more our narrow individuality falls away. The sooner the state of universality is reached, and the closer and more direct our communion is with God. We're always in connection with God, but how much do we actually realize that? Guru goes on to say that religion is really nothing but the merging of our individuality into universality. Right? Our Guru breaks all this, the whole thing of religion. Oh, you want to know what it's all about? You want to know what religion is all about? All you need to know that religion is all about, all religions, all they are about is just merging our individuality into universality. Becoming one with all that is. And realizing that oneness of all that is. That's what merging would be, to realize it. Therefore, Guru says, in the consciousness of this blissful state, we ascend the steps of religion. Right? We go, remember I told you, this is not a religion. All religions come here and sit and listen to this. What religion doesn't want this? This isn't a religion, right? This is for all religions, for all people, all races, all sexes, all everything. Guru says we live the noxious, Guru says we leave the noxious atmosphere of the senses and vagrant thoughts to come to the region of heavenly bliss, right? The region of heaven, not the religion, right? The region of heavenly bliss. It's not a religion. Everyone wants that heavenly bliss. Guru says we learn by this process what will be found to be universally true. When by constant practice of Kriya Yoga, the consciousness of this blissful state of the Supreme Self becomes real. In other words, when you really realize it, realized, we find ourselves always in the holy presence of the blissful God within us. Within us, you've already got it. God, and I want to make a quick interjection right here. Guru often cautioned us. He said, never say that I am God, or, that yourself is God. He said, this is not true. You are not God. Okay, I know it says it in the Bible, ye are gods, all right? But you got to study that, okay? Get what they really meant, okay? What Guru tells us is that not to say that I am God, but to say that God has become me. God is every atom in creation. And so every atom of this is God. Even this piece of soul that came into this body came from what? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a piece of God. Right? So it's not that I'm God and going around egotistically saying, oh, I'm God. Look at me. I'm God. That would be highly ignorant of you. Okay? Because if you're God and I whack you upside the head with a 2x4, okay, you're going to be crying like a baby, and God don't cry like a baby. All right? But every one of your cells is God. Every atom of you is God. Every atom of everything is God. So Guru says it's right to say, God has become this. God has become myself. When you're in tune with God. So Guru says that we discharge our duties better, having an eye more for the duties themselves than for our egoism and the consciousness of pleasure and pain arising thereof. Right? Our ego wants to be comfortable. And so, there's some things, that we might find not good. Well, then we can solve the mystery of existence and impart real meaning to life when we embrace it, not when we run from it. In the teachings of all religions, Guru says, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and so on, one truth is stressed. That until people know themselves as spirit, which is the fountainhead of bliss, they are limited to mortal concepts and subject to the inexorable laws of nature. Knowledge of our true being brings us eternal freedom. Liberation, right, that we keep talking about, that's what freedom, liberation means freedom, complete freedom. Freedom from sorrow, freedom from suffering, freedom from having to keep coming back here, life after life, wondering what the heck's going on around here. Hi, Rich. Thank you for joining us. Guru's wrapping up now when he says, at the same time, it should be noted that the practice of Kriya Yoga does not prevent the cultivation of the intellect or the building of the physique and the activities of a social and useful life, a life of the best feelings and motives devoted to philanthropic work. Right? In other words, Kriya Yoga is not going to take you away from your life that you already have and all of the wonderful things that you're doing, that you want to pursue in life. It's going to blend it all together. Guru calls us householder yogis, which means we balance the spiritual in the world, in our life, perfectly. Guru says, as a matter of fact, all-sided training, which this training is, all-sided training positively helps rather than retards the practice of Kriya Yoga. The only thing required is that a spiritual point of view be retained. Right? You don't have to, we don't care what religion you are. This is for everybody that understands the spiritual understanding of getting themselves back connected to Source. Whatever religion that is, we love you all. Our Guru says they're all great. He made the church of all religions. He wouldn't have done that if he didn't understand that. And we follow that tradition. We're the church of all religions too. All religions come here. And we don't talk about your religion. We're not going to talk about Catholicism. We're not going to talk about Judaism. We're not going to talk about Hinduism. We're not going to talk about Buddhism. Nope. Not talking about it. We're talking about truth here. Not that that's not truth. Just that we're not going to get confused in that. We're going to stick to this truth, the universal truths. Right? When we get to religion, it isn't universal truths anymore. Then we got different dogmatic practices and things like that to do. But with real truth, there's none of that nonsense. Okay? So, Guru says, then all actions, all pursuits will result to one's advantage. Guru finalizes with saying, the main thing in regard to Kriya Yoga is to understand thoroughly through practice, not through reading, not through people telling you, not through watching others do it, but through your own experiential knowledge, the mysteries of the life force that sustains the bodily organs of all people, causing them, all of us, everything, to vibrate with life and energy. Wow. I think Guru said an awful lot right there. And I know that it's going to help all of us out there. I'm sure it'll be very helpful. Wow. How long have we been going here? Are we getting too long?
About an hour.
About an hour, yeah. So, well, how about that? This is our first time. We're just kind of trying this out, and so it's all kind of lining up pretty good. Thank you, God, for guiding me. I do not know what I'm doing here. I'm just asking God to guide me. I didn't know what we were going to talk about today. Guru said, right? Do this. It's the first one. Do it. It's our first one. So we start with Guru's first one, right? So this is Guru's first Sunday service out of a large stack of Sunday services. So we're going to get a lot of wisdom, right? Guru's going to guide us and show us the way out of this delusion so that our life can be peaceful, harmonious, and happy. That's what we all want, isn't it? Yes, it is. So, well, let me see. I don't see any real questions or anything here. Because, as I said before, this isn't your average Sunday service. We don't just say, hey, be good, don't sin, and goodbye. Okay? That's not how it works, right? If somebody has something to share, they're very welcome to share. If not, well then, we kind of will wrap things up with a little bit of wisdom from our Guru. I always like to send us off into the world with a little bit of something, right? A little bit of something that'll help guide us, okay? It's always short, so don't worry. Here, I'd like to give us a little, Guru's given us, a little reminder, okay? It comes from his book called Sayings of Paramahansa Yogananda. And today he's guiding us in this idea of obedience, right? Guru says, without God realization, you have little freedom. Your life is ruled by impulses, whims, moods, habits, and environment. By following the advice of a true Guru, and by accepting that Guru's discipline, you will gradually emerge from sense slavery. Whoa, that is some deep stuff, right? Sense slavery, right? As we were talking about earlier, we want to be comfortable, right? So we don't do this, we won't do that. We're a slave of the senses then. And if we're free, we're talking about liberation, right? Freedom. Freedom means we're talking about the ultimate freedom, not even a slave to the senses. Oh, it's too cold. Or, oh, it's too hot. It's not soft enough. It's too hard. Great advice from our Guru. Well, then I think we're going to wrap things up today. Thank you all. God bless us all. Namaste and Lakach Jai Om Guru. Have a great Sunday, everyone. I am always praying, thanking God for watching over you, guiding you, giving you all the lessons you need, all the mirrors that you need to get yourself into this idea of harmonic resonance, where you're vibrating in perfect harmony with everything around you. That's our goal. Thank you all. Have a great day now. Bye now.